Hey YouTube, making another one. So this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I wanted to talk about the empath and the narcissist and how it relates to the astral realm, the spiritual plane, all that good stuff, and what I have noticed in my life with the empath and the narcissist. It might be a little all over the place. I'm gonna try and make sure it makes sense. So let's start with empaths. What are empaths? Going to Google, typed it in, here's the definition. Empaths are people who are highly attuned to the energies and emotions of those around them. They may be considered an empath. Empaths are said to feel what others feel so deeply that they absorb or take on the emotions of others. Another, end quote, another definition or in way of taking on that energy instead of taking it on or absorbing it, there are empaths that are said to let the energy pass through them instead. And when I read that, something just clicked with me, with the energy passing through my body. So on this website called Humans Be Free, there is an article titled The Empath and the Narcissist. And this is where a lot of things just clicked for me with how I was raised, by my parents that adopted me. And then after the summer, with me just seeing through the veil more and more and more, why my mother has parented me the way that she has. So let's just talk about this article for a quick second. I just wrote down some of the stuff that was in there, so let me share it. Credit goes to that article called The Empath and the Narcissist on that website. It said that empaths rely on their emotions to guide them. Trying to control that can cause them to lose their light that guides them. They may shut down and lock their feelings away. Empaths need space to breathe and time alone to recharge and room to be free. Now it makes sense why my mother has parented me the way that she did. So I spoke and shared about my father being a Rothschild. For those that don't know that bloodline, please look into it. And my mother, I used to believe, was a part of the Jenner bloodline. When I say Jenner, I'm sure there's only one name coming to your mind. Yes, that's right, Kris Jenner. But then I watched a video by 777 Truth, all capital letters. 777 Truth, all capital letters. And Kris Jenner is who? Ghislaine Maxwell. Kris Jenner is who? Ghislaine Maxwell. So I will now share and say that my mother is a part of that bloodline. That's what Spirit showed me months ago. And I do believe that just like Kris Jenner, according to Rashad Jamal, who is the most powerful witch on the ley line, that my mother falls under this category of being a witch. Let's just take that word away, of operating in the same way that Ghislaine Maxwell does. Because birds of a feather, one, flock together, and two, what makes you the exception in that family bloodline that you would be the only one permitted to not meet and greet the world in the same way that your siblings do. So after doing research, 777 Truth, Rashad Jamal, and then going within, seeing Ghislaine Maxwell in the astrals, seeing my mother in the astrals. I then just, reached that conclusion. In the beginning, I did used to think she was a Jenner before finding information that said Kris Jenner is Ghislaine Maxwell. There were just a couple instances where she would behave differently when Kris Jenner would come on TV. She would take on this strong focus of Kris Jenner and then pitying herself for not being rich and, having the type of life she has. And then there was a second instance where with Big Brother, when she was watching an episode of the last season last year, there was somebody that came on the TV and was being introduced to the audience. And she said that she looks like Pink. Saw who it was, took in that information. I disagreed and said that she looks like Kris Jenner. My mother just stopped what she was doing. The world stopped for her. And she was shocked that that was the name that came out of my mouth. She was eating a sandwich. I don't know what you mean. I think she looks like Pink. And then, I looked at the image of this person on the show again, took in that information, and was like, yeah, I see what you mean because of the haircut. But I see Kris Jenner based off of the vibration and the energy of how this person on the TV was moving. That's just what I picked up on, was Kris Jenner. My mom is floored, and she's just staring at me. And what happened next is what just made my antennas pick up on this information. I didn't have locks at the time. This was the sandwich. So I said that, I see Kris Jenner. And she's eating the sandwich. She's staring at me. She's looking back at the TV. She looks at me again. Grab some salt. I see Pink. And that was just a little bizarre. That just made me say, what? Why are you responding in that specific way? That's a little odd, I'm not going to lie. So that was when I really just started, the thought just started coming in my mind. What if I was adopted by somebody a part of the Jenner bloodline? Then I came across the video saying Kris Jenner is Ghislaine Maxwell, and I'm like, well, swear words. And I do believe that this is true. Now, why do I believe that there's been this type of control in my life? She needs energy in order to feed. She needs me to be in a lower vibration, a negative vibration, sad, upset, angry, disappointed, in order to feed. So some of the control that she had, with me growing up, it's as if, not even as if, she needs to be the one in control and orchestrating everything, but me not be aware that she's the one orchestrating. Some of the instances with me growing up where, it was obvious that she was orchestrating was just my freedom, lack thereof, of having agency of my room. And the room in the house, in both houses where we grew up in, I'll just say the one that I'm in right now, that is at their house. I would get belittled, shamed, reprimanded, not teased, but spoken down to when I would choose to move where my clothes were placed in drawers, to move where other items in that space were around the room, because that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to do. It made more sense to me in my head. But because it didn't to her, I would be reprimanded, I would be shamed, as I already said, belittled, etc. I also realized, using my room as an example, that she does view me, at least a part of me, as an extension of herself. This is why her clothes are in my closet, some of them, enough for it to be noticeable. Pictures of her all lined along the cabinet in front of at the foot of my bed, but if this was the head, I'm staring right at them. This is why her plants, some of her plants that, there's no space for in the house, are in my room. And out of the two of us, I got all of their old bedding in my room, and my brother did not. I believe one reason for this, just relating back to spirituality and stuff, his room is colored brown, mine has more red tones, and some, I'm not going to say orange, but burgundy, kind of in between. I know burgundy maybe not is between red and orange, but those type of colors, burnt colors. And after listening to a video, brown, if you got a brown aura, you are locked out of your chakras. So all of those colors in my brother's room definitely have the power to influence his subconscious body, his subconscious mind. Those colors in my room, since, everything happens for a reason in this matrix and world, it increases the root chakra. And this has also been referred to as the fight or flight chakra. And then there are some dull colors as well. It's put together really nicely, and I have been comfortable in there. I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm grateful for growing up and having memories that I do have. But after this past year, in experiencing what I have experienced in the astrals with them, and then reflecting on my whole life, making connections that this is why there's been so much control, not only with my room, but my finances, to my life in university, to my hair, and in moments where I have taken control of these aspects and not allowed her negative feelings to affect me, there is this, I can't say rift in the relationship, but something messy gets created between us, and something that then needs to be untangled because I did not give in the way that she wanted me to. I've also just become aware of the amount of times my brother and I would go into our fight, flight, or freeze response because of how she would then start navigating a situation that, bottom line, put both of us in fear. She has hit us before, but it wasn't like she was whipping us with a belt every single day, and she's definitely loved on us. She has loved on us so much, and that, I feel, still needs to be acknowledged. At the same time, it's not right and fair to me to not acknowledge the other stuff, and that I'm continuing to endure and feel with what's going on ever since my third eye became unlocked. Literally feeling her stick something like a straw into me and then just slurping on my essence, being in the astrals, and then her touching my body and I get burned. Why? I don't exactly know why her energy would hurt me in that specific way, but it did during the fall. To just having more negative experiences and having my essence, gathered up and sucked up. And acknowledging, becoming aware of my response patterns to these moments because of not so much the upbringing that I had and, the person that I am, but the abuse that I went through in the orphanage before I was put into their arms. definitely did a number on my mind and how I am expected to respond to certain things that affected me. So, yeah, that was a little bit of this video speaking about the empath and the narcissist, and me reaching a point where I feel I am ready to share that dynamic in my household with my mother and I. And those are just a couple small examples. I could flesh out more, but I think that gives a small idea and a small little taste, you know? And then keying y'all into the bloodline that she is a part of, which is a powerful bloodline in this matrix. So she's got a lot of pull to get what she wants based off of the resources that she has. So that is the video that I think I'm gonna share. I'm just looking at my notes, and I wanted to make this shorter than the one that I filmed before. So I'm gonna end it here. A little taste of the empath and the narcissist, a little insight into my upbringing, and that specific article for anyone that relates to the empath and the narcissist, or who is curious what is an empath and what is a narcissist. I highly encourage you and I invite you to read the article on the website called Humans Be Free, the empath and the narcissist, and pick out moments in your life, potentially, if you relate to these dynamics, and then give yourself space to write out some of your behavioral patterns, or give yourself space to remember how you've responded, and then take action to respond differently. And give yourself what you need. You don't need to apologize. Give yourself what you need. So, I'm now going to end this video. I want to say thank you for watching if you made it this far. As always, I send peace, courage, divine cosmic love, and protection to every single Anunnaki god and Anunnaki goddess who is on their journey of remembering their divinity and remembering who they are. Peace.